there, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you're watching this from. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. And this is going to be a talk on, well, I'd say it's about time, but not specifically that. It's mostly about having the feeling of running out of time. So lately, I've been just having this feeling, life moving a bit really, not a bit, but way too fast. I've noticed that hours, days become hours, hours become minutes, and minutes become seconds. And before you know it, months have passed, and before you know it, the year has passed. So time is really, speeding up, and sometimes we're just so busy in our lives. We're so busy with the things that we're doing, whether it's work, whether it's school, whether it's, spending time with friends, families, loved ones as well, catching up with them. We can never really pause for a bit and, just completely like pause, take a moment to like just breathe and, realize everything that's happening. It's a problem that I've had a lot, not even just now, just even back then, I used to think that, you know, I'm running out of time every single day that I'm not doing something that I like to do or that I enjoy doing for the most part. So I have this tendency to think that I'm wasting my time by doing it. And in return, I tend to like cram as much stuff that I can in one day as much as possible just to make sure that, I check every box, I make sure that I do everything that I want to do or that I enjoy doing before doing any other stuff that might just, make time fly by, you know, or just go by like that. But then, yeah, I try to cram everything in the morning so that I have stuff to do. Like, I don't know, I feel like I wanted to get everything done. So just everything that I want to get done early or the first thing of the day so that I have time to, I guess, spend, freely, doing other stuff that of course I want to do and of course I think I haven't done in a while without having that nagging feeling at the back of my head saying that hey, you didn't do this one thing, hey, you didn't do this one thing, what's going on, why did you skip it, are you going to do it later, are you going to do it later, and then that nagging thought stays with me like for the rest of the day until I get on to that thing. It's not the hard part, of getting that thing done. It's just the hard part of when you miss like a certain time frame and you got to do stuff for the rest of the day. Whether that be spend time with your family, talk with your friends, uh, you know, play games, relax, enjoy, or you got to do something with work or something like that and you miss out on the one thing that you got to do, the one thing that you can't live without doing, something like that, So yeah, just missing that one thing really kind of nags me at the back of my head, like as I've said multiple times already. But then, yeah, and sometimes I wish that I have more time, and I guess of course all of us have that, and of course there are people who are out there and who require a lot of more time, if I'm probably you know thinking about time just going so fast and I wish things could slow down. There's probably people in dire situations or in much more challenging or life-threatening situations that wish that they had more time to probably figure a way out of there, take a moment to like breathe, think, spend time with their loved ones and all that, but they don't. And that's another really really painful thing to realize is that even though time's running so fast and even though it gets faster and faster and faster each and every single day, there's no way for us to really stop it, slow it down, or actually rewind the clock so that we can relive the day again, relive it in a better way, relive it in a productive way for other people, relive it in a happier way. It's impossible. It's completely impossible. I know there's a lot of things about positivity and all that with me, especially with these talks and with my Instagram videos and all that, and my YouTube videos, of course. Uh, but this is the only time where, I don't say that, it's possible. Don't give up, there is a way. No, there is literally no way for you to fight Father Time, because as everybody says, and as movies, everyone has said it. Father Time is one of the things on life which is undefeated, because nobody's been able to beat it. Always catches up to you. It always gets its way because it's time. It's constantly moves. And I just wanted to go about something else now, going back to a little more, not completely, 360 on the negative thing about time, but a little, like reminder to myself, and maybe you guys can also learn from this, or maybe take away from this, or probably know this already, is that when we're in those moments where we're like thinking, man, I wish I had more time, man, I wish time wouldn't be moving so fast. There's so many stuff I need to do. There's people I need to see. There's people I need to talk to. There's stuff I need to, get done. There's places I need to visit. There's people that I want to just stay with, the people who I just want to stay with me, and we could just, forget about everything in the world and just freeze time completely and just be there with each other, just whether it's through online video chatting on the phone or in person, there are those moments that, you know, I feel like, and I bet we all feel like that, we just want to freeze time for that specific period of time or moment so that we can just live it forever. And man, if that we could do that, like that would be really, really sweet and really, really awesome. Because, I mean, who wouldn't want to be in a moment where they feel endless amount of happiness and endless amount of fulfillment for the rest of their lives? That's the dream come true, honestly. But going back to what I was about to say before I got all fantasy and all fantasizing about, stuff that ain't even gonna happen, is that when we're in those moments when we're wishing that we had more time, or it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad moment or like a stressful one or a devastating one. It could be like, happy moments, like, hey man, glad to be hanging out with you, glad to be, talking with you again, after a long time. We've been busy and all that, and it's great that we get to catch up, and it's great that, we get to see each other again, whether it just be us being goofballs, watching series, and it's great doing that again with you. We didn't do it, and we haven't got a chance to do it in a while and all that. And, you just wish you had more time with that person, because you're gonna go back to your daily routine. You're gonna go back to stressing over things, and you know, going back and forth with things, and just having the clock run over and over again. And then you come home and you sleep, and then when you wake up again, it's the same thing all over again. So I guess it's just more time in terms of work that we need to get done. But especially, I do believe it for myself, from my opinion, that I do wish that I have more time in the moments that I want to keep going, that with the people that I care about, of course, um, with the stuff that I like to do, with everything that gives me this feeling of joy, fulfillment, and where I can just set my mind, or chest, or heart, whatever we want to say it, refer to, and get all those worries, get all those stress, get all those doubts and fears of what may come, what happened, what what's going on and all that, and just forget about that for like a long time, and just be happy, simply like that, be fulfilled, be all of that. But like I said, we can't. So, going back to the point that I needed to make, or that I wanted to make on this talk, which is, as usual, I mean, I've said it in my short films as well, I've said it in a couple of talks that I've made in the past, is we gotta make the most out of it, because that's literally all we can do. I guess that's why every little motivational speaker, or every YouTuber, every Everyone, just people in life, people you see on a daily basis, everybody, when they say stuff about time, the one thing in common that we all have is that we wish we had more time, and we all say in response to losing time, making the most out of the time that we have, yeah, because that's all we can do. And I guess, it's better to spend your time wisely in terms of not dwelling on the past too much, not beating yourself up over past mistakes, not trying to fix something that's completely, broken and cannot ever be fixed ever again. You know, not constantly, just being in anger, being in stress, being in, complete despair just because you went down a path that you weren't supposed to go down, or that you think you weren't supposed to go down, and now you're there and you feel like it's all been a waste of time, and you wish you could just go back, redo everything, change the path, change your course that you were about to take, change the trajectory of your life so that you could actually be somewhere where you would, you know, deem yourself or the time that you've spent as worthwhile, because you're doing something that, or you're living the life that you actually hoped for. But that's not always the case when you're already onto that path for years now. And yeah, what I was about to just suggest is, again, it's just, as everyone says, we just have to make the most out of it. And I guess the best way to do that is not being overly positive, not being overly optimistic, but not also being overly pessimistic as well. Just finding that balance, and, you know, just finding out more reasons for you to be happy with your life that you're living now, whether you've chosen this life for yourself or not, or whether it was chosen for you, or whether you just ended up here because you didn't know where else to go and now you're confused and now you're lost, or you're questioning things and, all of that, or you have problems and all that. Just look for the solutions, look for reasons to be happy, look for reasons to, be grateful for where you are now, uh, while also not losing that focus and hunger and that drive that you have to reach your goal one day. Because I think that if we focus, I think, of course, if I focused, especially me, focusing more on, solutions and things to be happy for, I'd probably be, head over heels. I mean, I'm a pretty cheery guy, but whenever whenever life slaps me in the face and shows me a bit of reality, and shows me the real world, I get torn to pieces. you know I completely dump everything that I believe in happiness and trying to be positive, and just give in to what the world is telling me, which is the cruel reality. But I'm on that way of learning that, and I hope if you're watching this, whoever's watching this, I hope if you're not already there at the point of finding more reasons to be happy, right, and finding solutions instead of focusing on stuff that makes you feel angry, sad, or just focusing on the problems most of the time. I hope you're on that path of just looking to a brighter light, I would say, in terms of being a problem solver instead of just focusing on the problems, and just giving yourself more reasons to smile and be happy every day and just be grateful and thankful. So if you're not there, I hope you're getting there, and if you're there, I'm happy for you. Keep going on the same path, and I'm pretty sure that with your positive attitude and with your grit and motivation and hunger for that goal, you're gonna get there. And being a problem solver and looking for solutions, whatever bumps you have on the road, along the road, sorry, you'll try to find a way to fix it instead of dwelling it because you got that mindset, you got that problem solver mentality. You know what to do. If you don't, you got to research, you got to take some time back, take a break, take some time to breathe and just, say, analyze and say, oh, okay, I'm in this position now. What can I do to get out of it? Or what can I do to improve on it? You know, and that's the way you got to keep going, whatever phase you're in your life. Because I think that for me, that's the only way I could ever think of going in life where, you're not overly pessimistic to the point where you're just thinking, oh, everything's gonna work out. Oh, this is just bumper road. Oh, I'm gonna be fine. This when you're really not and you're just tricking yourself. I guess that's a toxic mindset to have because you're just disregarding what's happening and just thinking that, oh, it's gonna work out even though it's not. And being overly pessimistic on the other hand is another toxic mentality because you're not giving yourself the chance to go out there and actually get into new opportunities and new stuff that might or might not be good for you but may benefit you in the long run. And being overly pessimistic, you're going to stop yourself from achieving that or experiencing that, which will stop you from growing. So there's another thing with being overly too pessimistic and too optimistic. So I guess, in my opinion, the best way for me is to find that balance, and yeah, to find that balance between positivity and negativity, pessimistic and optimistic outlooks, and ultimately just keep on moving forward in life no matter what happens. So yeah, to sum it up short, to wrap this up. So yeah, in terms of time, it runs like like a Bugatti on, its top speed, and you can never slow it down, you can never freeze it, you can never, control it and rewind. So you just gotta live with it, make every moment last, make every moment worthwhile, and cherish every moment you have, no matter what you're doing, because you may never get it back. So, sorry, you can never get it back. So, yeah, cherish every moment because, time moves fast. And at the end of the day, have that balance between pessimistic and optimistic outlooks and look for more reasons to be happier rather than focusing on reasons for you to feel down. At the end of the day, have that problem solving mindset, the problem solving, you know, outlook on life, and you'll be able to find your way out of every little bump in the road that you have along the way. Anyways, that's all for this talk, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching, and hope you have a great day ahead. Thank you.